singers. I'm Justin Stoney, the founder of New York Vocal Coaching, welcoming you to episode 2 of Voice Lessons Online. This is the show where passionate voice teachers from all over the world help us learn from some of the greatest singers of all time. Today we're studying a singer who, if you know him, you say, "Oh, yeah." And if you don't know him yet, you're going to say, "What have I been missing?" It's our man, Kurt Elling.
I don't know where my Jenny is. Where can she be? Says, oh, we're signing, cannons shining, pennants flying. I have dreamed. What a joy you'd be.
Kurt is known for his 4-octave range, virtuosic improvisation, and complete command of style and storytelling. The New York Times once called him the standout male vocalist of our time. Well, what a nice thing for them to say. Clearly, we've got a lot to learn from Kurt Elling. First, Andy King is going to share with us about his musicianship. Andy.
Hey everyone, I'm Andy, and I gotta say, I'm thrilled to be chatting about Kurt Elling with you today. I've been lucky enough to see him live 3 times. I've been listening to him for nearly 20 years, and it's easy to say he is by far one of my favorite musicians of all time. In fact, I could probably talk about what makes Kurt Elling incredible for 3 hours, but I've got 90 seconds, so let's get to it. Today, I'm talking to you about Kurt Elling's musicianship and why it's vital for you to study. Kurt Elling is a jazz musician from Chicago who's considered one of the top jazz vocalists alive today and, in my opinion, of all time. I'm just going to show you a few examples of what makes him an insane musician. First, let's start with his enormous range.
In a turning like a burning came a turning out of everything, stirring in what had begun before. But all wrapped up in one great godly becoming, tumbling and fumbling and stumbling into bumbling and rumbling along, whirling and swirling it and twirling it and overturning it and burning it again.
Second, his command and comfort around other musicians.
Just to love and be loved in return.
Third, his use of complicated melodic patterns and lyrics.
So the time was accelerating in a curve, and the minutes in which I had stood, it was something like lava on acres of woodland, like a booming and massive volcano, making a archipelago, and destroying the planet at Portisimo. Bulldozing everything down to make room for what was a Byzantine, a labyrinthine, not a manifolding magic with a tangle of confusion where the walls made an asylum of baroque. Like a joke, words were spoken to provoke me
and finally, his vocal and dynamic control.
And again, and again, and again, and again.
Through each of these examples, Kurt Elling is showing us a complete package for what we strive for as vocalists. His voice is obviously insane, but you can also see and hear how deeply he understands music. That's what I want for my students and all singers. I want to help them truly understand music, music theory, and why it's important to not just have a beautiful voice. What does that mean for you? Listen, 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 and listen thoughtfully. And listen to all kinds of music. Take a music theory class. You can find free apps and programs online as well as classes with a teacher. I also encourage you to learn to play an instrument. All of these are definitely going to deepen your understanding of music. Listen, I know that was a whirlwind, but I want to leave you with this quote by Kurt Elling. The singer is always an ambassador of music.
That's great advice, Andy. Next, Kristy Bissell is going to tell us about Kurt's vocal registers.
Hi, my name is Kristy, and I have the privilege today to talk about one of my favorite voice topics, vocal registration. So, what is vocal registration? This is a way for us to identify vocal quality in a singer, and this is determined by vibratory function at the vocal fold level. And this can be determined by thickness, pressure, or tension, and what we could refer to as chest voice dominant singing or head voice dominant singing. So let's take a listen to what Kurt Elling is doing in the beginning of Tight, written by Betty Carter.
That's a long composition to Betty Carter. Voici Tight. I don't know where my gal is. Where can she be? What is she doing? I've been searching and looking and asking questions all over town. I'm hoping she'll be found.
So what we might notice is that when he talks and he goes into his singing voice, there's no real shift. It all sounds the same. And this affirms the idea that chest voice and our speaking voice are pretty much the same. This varies from person to person, but for Kurt Elling, it certainly is his chest voice. His speaking voice is the same. And this is giving us a lot of thickness at the vocal fold level. So to get even more excited about Kurt Elling singing, let's listen to him scat. So what we hear there is him going up in his range, yet staying strong. We've got a lot of thickness, we've got a lot of closure at the vocal fold level, and this is exciting, athletic, and you can do this too. You just have to find the right vocal exercises for yourself and the right repertoire to bring that fire into yourself, to give you the drive to make those sounds as well.
Awesome, Kristy. Zach Bradford, what about Kurt's resonance?
Kurt Elling's voice has an immediacy to it that allows us to understand every note and lyric with perfect clarity. From a technical perspective, Kurt's voice has this immediacy because he has excellent control of his vocal resonance. In this clip of Georgia on My Mind, you'll hear a great example of Kurt's resonant voice. Enjoy.
Georgia. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
Kurt is able to maneuver and shape his vocal tract in ways that allow him to produce a clear and consistent tone regardless of the vocal register, the vowel, the dynamic level, or even the range. In this clip of Nature Boy, you'll hear a perfect example of Kurt's clear and consistent communication regardless of these other variables. Enjoy.
Then one day, one magic day, he came my way. And as we spoke of Mary's fools and kings.
To quote Kurt Elling when speaking to a group of young jazz singers, he said, You, the singer, need to be able to communicate your heart with perfect clarity. I completely agree, and would add that having control of your vocal instrument facilitates clearer and more expressive communication. So when it comes to practicing vocal resonance, start with your strengths. If you find it easier to resonate well in your mid-range, but more difficult in your low range, then find a phrase of a song that starts in your mid-range and moves to your low range. As you do this, try to maintain the same vibrancy and immediacy of tone. I hope this tip helps you in your vocal journey. Thank you.
Absolutely, good sir. Next, Julie Reumert is here to share about Kurt's performance.
Hi, my name is Julie Reumert, and I am so excited to be talking about Kurt Elling and the different aspects of performing and singing. Now, before we dive into this, let's hear it from Kurt Elling himself.
I think it's part of the pleasure of being a singer, is that I get to deal as a jazz musician in a realm of improvisation and interaction, as you've mentioned, interaction with the other musicians, interaction with a tradition of music that's very demanding and unforgiving if you don't stay with it and practice all the time. And those are all things that appeal to me. A big enough challenge.
The discipline of art.
A high enough mountain to really something that's so much greater than me that I'll never reach the other side of it. But that is a worthy thing to attempt, nevertheless.
Wow. Kurt Elling is an incredible performer. He has done many master classes on many educational institutions around the world, and one thing he often talks about is self-discipline. How you practice and practice and practice all of your scales, all of your music, all of your songs over and over again, so that when you do in fact go on stage, you can let go. You can be in the moment, you can collaborate with your musicians, you can improvise, you can convey the emotion, and you can give it your all to the people that are listening. And the audience is hearing this for the very, very first time. So to make every performance new, find a new angle, find a new way to explain an emotion that might be different on that very night. Kurt Elling is a master at that, and I do hope that you get to see him perform live. It is an incredible experience. I also hope that you get to perform as much as you possibly can, because part of your education is performing. Whether it's in front of your friends or whether it's on a stage, get out there, perform as much as you possibly can.
Thanks, Julie, and thanks to all our experts. I'm going to share what I've learned from Kurt in a moment, but first, here are some more ways to learn on your vocal journey.
To get to know our team of experts, please visit us at voicelessonsonline.com. Sing Like Never Before is the new book by Justin Stoney. Get ready for a singing book that is truly like no other. For more information, visit singlikeneverbefore.com. If you'd like a vocal course that you can do at home, check out the Voice Lessons to the World vocal course. This 12-part program takes you on a singing journey from beginner to master-level vocal exercises. You can find it at voicelessonstotheworld.com. Or if you'd like free vocal tips sent to you each day, sign up at dailyvocaltips.com.
I'm absolutely enthralled by the countless ways that Kurt gets his words to land in our ears. He's unendingly creative with his phrasing of the lyric. His phrasing ranges from the most conversational,
Like being in a story, like starring in a play, acting out some destiny far, far away,
to the most rhythmic.
I won't stop and think of the things I really couldn't do until I met you. Please, baby, listen to my plea and understand my love, and you will find it's true love. I want you to notice how I feel right from the start. Know that you feel the same. I've never had the slightest doubt, no, I never will. I pray your love will blossom with each thrill. I hope you feel the same. Please, baby, don't let me linger.
To the accented or character-driven.
All of a sudden the thought begins, a feeling like in my brain there lives an alien, and it gets forgiving. Then I think maybe I am just a little man in a space capsule riding round in a balloon deep down inside my head. something big and go Giants, hey, dig.
To the most melodic or sung.
In these dreams I've loved you so that by now I think I know what it's like to be loved by you. I want love, being loved by you.
And that's just a few examples. I challenge you to listen to even more ways that Kurt Elling's phrasing inspires your ear. One last thing about Kurt. You'll notice that his smile is as authentic as his voice.
You take memory, take care of my foolish heart.
That's no coincidence. He loves singing and embodies his singing. So thanks, Kurt, for helping us smile with our faces and with our souls. We'll see you again next time for more Voice Lessons Online.